Hello, I hope everyone's weekend has been okay. Well, week overall. Um, Here we are again in QuickMathics, reviewing all the math concepts for Algebra 1. So like here is when we finished last week. We were doing inequalities. We were graphing them. So right now we're going to continue doing that. If you remember that if you want to know how to solve any of the questions that are here in the first examples, all the information is already posted here in the YouTube channel, and you can watch them anytime you want. We also have a Discord channel that right now is open. If you have any questions, you can join the session. Uh, the times are posted in the description. You can actually ask while I'm explaining. So let's get started. Right now we have this 5 parentheses 4 plus y parentheses greater than 2 parentheses y plus 7 parentheses. To do this, we basically need to know what we have been doing from the very beginning here, isolating the variable in one side and putting the integers or numbers in the other side. Right now, you see that there are parentheses that we need to distribute. So we are going to do that. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times y is 5y. So we keep the sign. Is greater than 2 times y, 2y. And 2 times 7, 14. All of this is positive because like all of our numbers are positive, so the sign do not change. So now, oops, I forgot here to put the 5y. I don't know why. Put it. Yep. Now we need to keep all the variables in one side and put all the integers in the other side. So we subtract to here to y, here to y, and we also subtract 20 from here and 20 from here. So we have 5y minus 2y is 3y greater than this cancel and this cancel. 14 minus 20, to do this, remember, from past videos, we basically take the bigger number, subtract the smaller number from it, so 20 minus 14 is 6, but since the 20 has a negative sign, our result is also going to have a negative sign, so the answer is um, negative 3y is greater than negative 6. And right now, we need to leave the y alone, so we need to divide both sides by 3, and we have that y, because it's cancel, is greater than negative 6 divided by 3 is going to be negative 2. Why the negative sign? Because there is one positive integer and the other is negative, so and since the signs are different, our result needs to be negative. So to graph this, we need to um, name this, like give a value to the sides. So this is 0, this is negative 1, this is negative 2, negative 3, 1, etc. So we have our result is the y is greater than negative 2. So we want to put all y values being in the right of negative 2. Also, you see that there is like a peak to the right. So it's like an arrow to the right. So that's the way like we can know where to do it. So we have that is greater but not equal to negative 2. So since it is not equal, that's the difference between the ones we did last week. Since it is not equal, we need to put a hole and then an arrow to the right because we don't want to include negative 2 in our answer. And that's how we conclude that our result is not included. For this equation, we're going to do basically the same. I'm going to isolate the variables in one side and the integers in the other. So we're going to add 5m here. And I'm going to also add it here, of course. Um, 12 straight 20 and 12 straight 20. So this cancel, and we have that -4 minus 20 is minus 24 because they have the same sign, so we just add them and get the sign. So -24 is going to be greater than 12, and 7 plus 5 is 12, and we keep the variable. Now we divide both sides by 12. um, and we have -2 greater than n. You know, the negative, the result is negative because they have different signs, and 24 divided by 12 is 2. So what I like to do when I have the variable in the right in the inequalities instead of in the left, I just put it, I just flip the equation. So basically it's putting the same and less than -2, which is the same as this, but reading it from right to left. So right now we see that the arrow is going to the left, so we know that our result is less than, n is less than -2. So we do the same we did before. This is 0, this is 1, -1, this is -2, this is -3. Since there is no equal sign, we know that the space needs to be empty inside, and the arrow is going to be to the left. Oops. Yeah, oops. Better. And this is our visual representation. Um, Now we have two inequalities. This is more complicated. Basically, what we need to do is leave the variable in the middle. So in this case, we want to keep p along in the middle. Basically, our result needs to be p less than, greater than here. So first, we're going to do like to eliminate the 8 from here, so we need to also eliminate the here and subtract from 8 here. If we do something in one of the sides of the equation, we need to do it in all of them, like in the three of them. So we keep the balance and we keep the equation right. So I subtract 8 from the middle, so I can eliminate this, and then I subtract 8 from each side. This is going to be -12 because they have the same sign, so I just keep the negative sign and add them, and 8 plus 4 is 12. Oops. And this is going to be, well, wait, less than 2p. We keep our variable. This is going to be less than 18 minus 8 is 10. Now we want to isolate our p, so we divide the middle by 2. So, if we divide the middle, we need to also divide the sides. So we have that -6 is less than p, less than 5. Like 12 divided by 2 is 6, and since there is one positive and the other is negative, our result needs to be negative. And that's the answer. And to graph this, we need to put name all the arrows in the, well, all the lines in the arrow. So this is -6, -5, -4, -3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I do it like this. I don't know why. Yeah, I did it right. I don't know why. There is not enough space. And what we want to do, like you see, there is no equal here and there is no equal here, as you see here. So this is not going to be included. Um, wait, okay, here. This point is also not going to be included. So our answer will be the line between them, since the P is in the middle. But neither 5 or -6 is going to be included since there is no equal sign. That's the reason the little point or circle is empty inside. Different from the first one we did. Okay, now there is a difference between the or inequalities and the one that are like in between. This is basically like an and instead of an or. Like if you see p's this like 2p minus 8 is greater than -4 and 2p minus plus a, I'm sorry, is less than 18. That's basically what the first, like the number 5 is saying. Now the number 6 is saying 42 is less than 6 times 3 minus k, or 1 half 14k minus 8 is greater than 10. Greater or equal than 10. So we basically need to solve for both equation and graph them. Like they were two individual ones like this, like this four. So when we solve this, first we need to um, multiply. Which this is gonna be 42 is less than 6 times 3, 18. 6 minus k is minus 6k, since the 6 is positive and the k is negative. So we keep the negative sign. Now we need to subtract 18 for both sides, and we get, and this is going to cancel, and we get them. 42 minus 18 is 24. So 24 is less than -6k. Now we need to divide both sides by -6. And as I explained in the last video, every time we divide or multiply by a negative number, the sign is, whoa, this is too big. This is going to change the position. So 24 divided -6 is going to be, well, 24 divided by 6 is 4. Since that is like this is 24 is positive and the 6 is negative, our result is going to be -4. And since we divided by a negative number, now it's going to be -4 is greater than k, which can be written as I explained a few minutes ago, k less than -4. It's like reading it from right to left. Now for the other side, wait, let me, so I'm going to say that this is -4. And since there is no equal sign in the equation, as you see here, there is no equal sign. I'm just going to put an empty circle. It's going to the left, as you see here. So and this is -4. Now for the second equation, we have 1 half 14k minus 8 greater or equal than 10. I'm just gonna keep working with the one here, like this one. So when we have 1/2, when we are multiplying by 1/2, we are just multiplying on the numerator times the numerator and the denominator times the denominator, which in this case, this is going to be 1, and this is going to be 1, like 14 over 1 and 8 over 1. So this is basically going to be 14k over 2, since like 1 times 14 is 14 and 2 times 1 is 2, minus 8 over 2, since 1 times 8 is 8 and 2 times 1 is 2, greater or equal than 10. So we divided this and we get that 7k. Since 14 divided by 2 is 7, minus 8 divided by 2 is 4, greater or equal than 10. We need to add 4 in both sides so we can cancel out this. So we have that 7k greater or equal than 10. We divide both sides by 7. Oh, sorry, 14. My bad. I forgot to add this. Like 10 plus 4 is 14. My bad. So we cancel out this and we have that k is greater or equal than 14 divided by 7, which is the same as 2. And now we go to our graph, and this is -3, -2, and -1, 0, 1, and 2. And since it is going to the right, we know that is greater than, so our values are like our arrow needs to be going to the right. And as you see now, there is an equal sign, so we paint the circle. Now we do the arrow to the right. And this is basically how we do an OR function. As you see, there is like an empty space in the middle. Now for this one, is like um I just forgot how to say that word. I'm sorry. It's like a mix of the two previous questions. And you need to also multiply the numerator times the numerator and the numerator times the denominator. Since they don't have a visual one, we know that it's 1, so we keep the size for now. We have the negative is less than 6y over 3. 1 times 6 is 1, 3 times 1 is 3, plus 12 over 3. 1 times 12 is 12, 3 times 1 is 3. And this is less than 14. Now we still can work just in the middle, so we keep the -6 left, less than. Now 6 divided by 3 is 2, so this is going to be 2y. 12 divided by 3 is 4, so this is going to be 4. Less than 4. Oops. I don't know what happened there. So this is going to be less than 14. Now we eliminate the 4 from here. Like subtract 4 from the 3 sides, and we have that -6 minus 4 is going to be, since they have the same sign, we just keep the sign and add them together. So 6 plus 4 is 10. Now we is less than, we cancel this, so this is 2y. And this is less than 14 minus 4 is 10. Now we divide the 3 sides by 2. We cancel this and we have negative 10 divided by 2 is negative 5, less than y, and this is less than 5. And this is our answer. Just want to make it smaller, or maybe put it here in the side. Sorry. Now to go to graphic, when we go to the smallest values, negative 5, negative 4, negative 3, negative 2, negative 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And we see that our results are not included since you can see an equal sign anywhere that you're missing this part of the sign. So we do an empty circle and another empty circle, and we make a line in the middle. Oops. I'm trying to make it straight. Well, you guys understand what I'm trying to do. And now there's another OR. You know that this is like an AND function, so this and or and this. This is basically what number 7 and number 5 are. Whoa, what happened here? Okay. So in number 6 and number 8 are OR function, like OR equations, inequalities. The one thing is happening and then like later the or wait, I'm sorry. So OR inequality is that one thing is happening or that's the reason the name the other is happening. So there are two possibilities, and most of the time you're going to find a gap in the middle, as we did here. Like most of the time, I don't think you're going to get an OR equation with no gap. So for this, we keep doing the same. Now we subtract 2 from both sides for this one. And we have the q greater than negative 13 minus 2 is negative 15 since they have the same sign. So we use add them together and keep the sign. And now, as I explained it before, it's better always have in an inequality we always want the variable in the left, so it's just reading this from right to left. And now you got it. Now for this one, we want to divide by 5 in both sides, and we have the q is greater or equal than 15 divided by 5 is 3, and since they have different sides, we know that our result is going to be negative as well. That was easy, wasn't it? So to graph, I'm going to label this negative 15. And just to the sake of the space, I'm going to go by multiples of 3. So negative 15, negative 12, negative 9, negative 6, negative 3, 0, 3, etc. I'm going to see, you see that the negative 3 one is going to the right, since like the arrow is going to the right, it's pointing to the right, and you see an equal sign, so it is included. So we draw a full dot, and we make the line to the right. And now for this one, this is going to the left, and we don't see an equal sign, so this is not included. So we draw an empty dot. Oops. Well, whatever. You guys understand. And now arrow to the left. I hope you guys understood this. If you have any questions, just contact me and I'll be happy to answer any of them. And now just keep going. You see, like we have, I think that for this week and the next, maybe another one. I don't know. So let's keep going. And right now there are more inequalities. I sincerely not sure what is the builder notation. Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, I can explain that perfectly. So right now we're going to solve it as we did it the 6 examples before. First, like subtract A from the middle and also from the sides. So negative 8 plus 5.6 or 5.6 minus 8. This is basically we're basically going to subtract the lesser one from the greater one and keep the sign of the greater one. So it's going to be 8 minus 5.6. This is going to be 2.4. And since the 8 is the negative one, we're going to give the sign. So this is greater or equal than negative 40. Since we cancel this, greater than negative 3.2 minus 8, they both have the same sign, so we just keep the sign and add them together, which is 11.2. I'm going to make this smaller. Okay. Now we divide all sides by negative 4. As I explained before, every time we divide or multiply by a negative number, the sign is going to change. So right now it's going to be less than equal for the first one and less for the second one, since the second one doesn't have an equal sign. So just flipping it. And when we divide negative 2.4 by negative 4, we know that our result is going to be positive since since they both have the same sign, and every time we multiply and divide by number with the same sign, our result is positive. So 2.4 divided by 4, it must be 0.6. Let me check right now. Yeah, it's 0.6. So this cancel and we just have t in the middle. Now 11.2 divided by 4. They both are negative, so we also know that our result is going to be positive. I think it is 3.8. I'm not sure. Divided by 4. Oh, 2.8. I'm sorry. So this is our result. Now, when it's talking about builder notation, it just basically means what values can they have. So you know that when we were doing this, we just have like a numeric line. We put the value, we put here 0.6. I'm gonna make this smaller so I can actually do it. So this is 0.6 and this is 2.8. We want to draw this. We do a whole circle this since it is included, since it has an equal sign, and we just put an empty circle here since it does not have an equal sign, and we draw the line. This is going to be equivalent to this answer. 0. Yeah, I'm going to do it in another color so you can see. 0.6, 2.8. Why? Because every time you see a bracket, it means that it is included. So it means that the circle is full and that there is an equal sign. So we put the first value or the smaller value in the left, which is going to be 0.6, comma, the greater value. It is 2.8 and as you see, this does not have the equal sign, so we cannot put like a bracket. We need to put a parenthesis. So basically, bracket it is included, parenthesis it is not included. Wait. And that's the reason that's our answer. That's builder notation. Now we are going to do the same for number 10, where you guys are going to add 5 to each side. This cancel and we get that 3. Why 3? Because we have -2 plus 5. 5 is the greater number and it is positive, so our result needs to be positive. And when we subtract 5 minus 2, we get 3. Um, Less than x, less or equal than 15. Since 10 plus 5, 15. Now we're going to basically do the same. Place the smaller one next to the bigger one with a comma. 3, 15, and since the 3 is not included, we're going to do parentheses since it does not have an equal signs here. And the 15 is included since it does have an equal sign. So we do a bracket. And that's our answer in builder notation. Now it's time for a problem. Just give me a second until I drink water. So, question 11. You must maintain a minimum balance of $50 in your checking account. You currently have a balance of $280. Write and solve an inequality that represents how many $20 bills you can withdraw from the account without going below the minimum balance. So we know that our minimum balance is going to be 50. So we're going to isolate the 50 in one side. Now, also, you must maintain a minimum balance. It basically means that you cannot go under the minimum balance in your account. So, or the number you're going to calculate needs to be greater or equal because you must maintain at least $50. So this is going to be at least $50. That's the reason you put like less or equal. I don't know what I said greater before. So that $50 is the minimum or the less that you can have. So then you right now have a balance of $280. That's your balance. And you balance. And you want to withdraw an X amount of $20 bills. And right now we just wrote the equation because you know the minimum balance was going to be $50. It's going to stay in one size if we want to calculate how many bills we can like spend without going below than $50. This is going to be our current money, the 280. That's the amount that we have right now. This is going to be the bills we are doing, like we are paying. You can put X, B, W. It doesn't matter the number you put. Also, I personally, you can do it whenever you like. I like to put it in the back, so I'm just gonna put it like that. Now we want to know how many bills we can pay without exceeding the balance. So what I will do is I'm actually going to subtract 280 from this side and from this side. So I'm going to get that $50 minus 280. You see that the 280 with the greater number has a negative sign, so our result needs to be negative. And we're going to divide subtract 50 from 280, which is 280 minus 50 is 230. So this is minus $230. It's going to be less than or equal negative $20. Oops. We're going to divide both sides by negative 20. As I explained before, every time you divide or multiply by a negative number, our sign is going to change. So it's going to be now greater than or equal than B. And 230 divided by 20, this is going to be 11.5. Yeah. And our result is going to be positive since both numbers are negatives. So we want to make sure, like if they both are negative, our result is going like if they both are the same sign, our result is going to be positive. So we have 11.5. Now it comes the tricky part. It is asking you how many checks or bills can you withdraw from your account without going below than $50. So you cannot go below the $50. And we got an answer with a decimal point, which cannot be like you cannot pay half of a bill. You need to pay it completely. So that cannot be the answer. So always that you need in this case, if you say that the answer is 12, you're going to be wrong because if you can actually go to your calculator and say, okay, I'm going to spend 12 bills of $20, which is $240. But if you say 280 minus 240, you get $40 left. And you cannot go under $50 in your account. You always need to keep it at least $50. So the money you have needs to be greater than $50. That's the reason the answer is 11. Because if we withdraw 12 bills, our balance is going to be less than $50. As you see, we withdraw 11 times 20 and 280 minus 220 is 60, which is a value we can have in our account. And now part B. Your bank charge an ATM fee of $2.50, 2.5 dollars, which is charged each time you withdraw $20. Write and solve an inequality that represents how many times you can withdraw $20 from the account without going below the minimum balance in this equation. So, the bank charges a 2.5 fee every time we withdraw $20. So this means that in total we will be drawing $22.5 because if each time we withdraw 20, which is the same that says negative 20, like minus 20, we also get $2.50 less. Is the same that says minus 20 minus 2.5, which is since they have the same sign, we just add them together and keep the sign. It is the same as negative 22 and 5. And now we can get the same equation we got before, but substituting the 20 by the 22.5. So I'm sorry. We have the $50 less or equal than $280 minus 22.5. With the game, subtract 280 from both sides. We're going to get negative 230 again because of the same reason. It's going to be less than or equal than negative 22.5b. We divide both sides by negative 22.5. And we have the b. Oh, also, this is rewritten as b less than or equal than 50. 11.5. And this also represents what we were doing. Like it also represents why the answer is 11, since as you see here, b is less than or equal than 11.5. It cannot be greater. Now I'll continue. And we divide both sides by negative 22.5. So we get that. We're going to change the sign. We know right now that because we divided by the negative number, the sign is going to become opposite. We're going to keep the b in this side as it was for now. And when we divide 230 by 22.5, it's going to be 1.222, which is the same, like 11.2222, which is the same as I actually don't know this in fraction, and this calculator does not allow me to put in fraction, so I'm just going to round to the. Okay, it doesn't matter. I'm going to round anyway. And so we have that 10.22 dollars is greater or equal than b, which is the same as b less than equal than 10. Oh, this is not dollars. This is bills. 10.22. Ahora, like now. We want to know how many times we can withdraw money from our account without going below the the minimum balance that we need to have. So this is basically what I explained here. As you can see here, b is less than or equal than 10.22. So since b cannot be more than 10.22 and we cannot withdraw 10.22 bills, we need to withdraw an integer number of bills. Our result is going to be 10. And you can also check it in our calculator. We have 22.5. If we do 11, it's going to be 247.5. And 280 minus 247.5 is 32.5, which is less than the minimum balance. Now this is the last question I'm going to do. It's already 5:47, so I don't have time for more. I'm going to do this really quick and we'll keep going next week. See how much we can do. Now, 12. A tuxedo rental shop rent tuxedos with a sleeve length from 20 inches to 40 inches long. The shop says that the length of the sleeves should be at least, should be about 1.2 times a person arm's length. Compound Write and solve a compound inequality that represents the arm's length of people for which the shop does not provide tuxedos. Okay. Basically, this is an AND function because it's a from one to the other. It does not say one or the other, like it including but. So right now, I know that I need to put these signs because it's either one or the other. I hope you got that. You got that. So I know that the slips, this is the value of the slips. I haven't done anything. The slips is from 20 inches to 40 inches. This is not an equation, this is just a fact that is stated right here. From 20 inches to 40 inches. Now, I know that the length of one sleeve should be about 1.2 times a person's arm. So, 1.2 times 1.2 times a person's arm length. I'm gonna put P is equal as an sleeve. So, see 1.2 times a person arm is equal and sleeve, which is S. I can just substitute the value I got here, the fact that they gave me in the first sentence, and put the 20 less than equal less. Wait, actually it is less or equal because it never say that 20 or 40 is not included. It actually say that it goes from 20, including 20, to 40, including 40. That's the reason of the equal. I don't know why I didn't put it from the first moment. Oops. Okay. Now I got 20 less than equal than 1.2p less than equal 40. And we want to we're going to divide this by 1.2p so we can cancel out. We're also going to divide it by 1.2p and 1.2p. When we divide and we got 20p, equal, and z equal 10 divided 20 divided by 1.2p by 1.2 is 16.67. 16.67. 40 is 33.33. And this is basically okay. Now we have an equation for the people, like for the people that the store does provide um tuxedos. So the shop rent tuxedos for people from 20 inches to 40, like from 20 inches to 40 inches. Um, we know that the arm's length for these people need to be between 16.67 and 33.33 for them to have the possibility to rent these tuxedos. But the question is asking, write and solve and compound inequality that represents the arm lengths for people for which the shop does not provide tuxedos. Right now we solve the equation for the people that they provide tuxedos, so we need to find an OR equation when the lengths are less than 20 or the sleeves are more than 40. So this P are basically 1.2p. I'm sorry, like this is a good explanation for another exercise. I just didn't read it right from the first side, so I'm going to put it written here in the side. But this is not what the question is asking, but it's like basically we have this, so the sleeps less than 40, less than 40, less, not equal, 20, less than 20. I'm sorry. Let me say it again so everyone can understand. This is saying try and solve an equation, a compound inequality that represents the arm lengths for people for which the shop does not provide tuxedos. So we actually know that the shop provides tuxedos for these people, like the one we calculated before. So we want now to know this like they do not have a sleeve length less than 20 nor greater than 40. So we know that 1.2p is equal s. We substitute 1.2p less than 20 1.2 or 1.2p greater than 40. And I'm going to move this to the side a little bit. We divide everything 1.2 by 1.2. And we cancel this, we cancel this. We already calculated these divisions and we get that p is less than 16.67 or oops or p is greater than 40 divided by 1.2 33.33. I'm sorry for the confusion. I hope like you guys understand everything. Let me move this to the side. That's basically it. Let's see you next week. Bye.